Paris Hilton once declared, "Some girls are just born with glitter in their veins." And true enough, she twirled through early 2000s nightlife, leaving behind a trail of pink velour and minuscule dogs that weighed more than her skirts. But beneath the rhinestones lay a kind of cunning social intuition that most aspiring socialites fail to notice. Meanwhile, Victoria Beckham stands as the more distilled essence of modern aristocracy. No glitter, no squealing, just a merciless, surgical stare that can humiliate an entire cocktail party without a single word. If you think you can sashay into polite society armed only with a designer bag and a dab of highlighter on your collarbones, let me disabuse you right now. True polish is not a price tag, but a collection of invisible codes. Codes that, once violated, render you a laughingstock among those who matter, and a cautionary tale among those who don't. So pour yourself a discreet flute of something French and come closer, because here are 15 etiquette horrors that the real upper class never commit. Each is more incriminating than the last. Let's begin, shall we? The first atrocity: treating the staff like background scenery. The old families know their drivers, butlers, housekeepers, and personal assistants are the pillars holding up the entire illusion of effortless grandeur. A real viscount might forget his own children's birthdays, but he never forgets the birthday of the butler's daughter. Meanwhile, the insecure nouveau riche bark bring the car around, as though the chauffeur is deaf and invisible. It reeks of anxiety masquerading as superiority. And here's the cruel twist: the staff always talk. They know which lady tiptoes around unpaid bills and which gentleman drinks budget vodka out of decanters labeled vintage gin. Mock them at your peril. They can ruin your reputation faster than a tabloid headline. Second horror: airing dirty laundry at dinner. And I do mean actual dirty laundry. Affairs, debts, rashes, Cousin Geraldine's divorce, and the lawsuit she swears is unjustified. The aristocracy is addicted to secrets, but allergic to sharing them at the table. Dinner is for trivial anecdotes and witty remarks about the weather in Capri, not a live broadcast of your therapist's notes. Once at a fundraiser in Monte Carlo, I witnessed a hedge fund heiress recount her liposuction ordeal between the fish course and the sorbet. Her neighbors pushed their plates away. One nearly gagged into the caviar. Remember, your inner turmoil is best confined to your private chamber or an obscenely expensive psychologist, never the dinner table. Third, visible brand worship. The debutante with the logo belt the size of a license plate is no true debutante. She's an intern in disguise. Old wealth recognizes itself through understatement. They own the same designer, yes, but the monograms hide shyly inside silk linings and discreet shoe soles. They favor hand-tailored suits without splashy labels, because if you have to brag about the brand, you've probably mortgaged your soul for it. A word to the wise: if your handbag's logo can be read from space, you've strayed from the path. Fourth sin: name dropping like a social grenade. Imagine announcing at brunch that you once had tea at Elton John's estate. You might think your companions will swoon. They won't. They'll politely nod, then signal the waiter for the check. Why? Because true connections are never flaunted. If you truly belong in someone's circle, you protect their privacy. Name dropping is a clarion call that you don't actually have the access you crave, like a desperate party crasher rattling the gates of Versailles, hoping someone inside recognizes you. They don't. Fifth, habitual tardiness, chronic lateness masquerading as fashionable entrance. Among Hollywood's B-list, It's considered chic to saunter in 2 hours late. Among the truly cultivated, it's a death knell for your credibility. Arriving on time communicates respect for your host's effort and your fellow guests' schedules. Arrive 15 minutes late, perhaps, if you must maintain an aura of mystery. But an hour or more, you'll find yourself uninvited next time. Your name scribbled out from the seating plan by an assistant with the speed of a guillotine blade. Sixth, and this one is delicious, public arguments. Real aristocrats quarrel constantly over trust funds, jewels, inheritance, mistresses, but never in earshot of commoners. If a duke suspects his duchess of siphoning his wine cellar, he'll dispatch a lawyer, not a public tantrum. The moment you raise your voice across a luxury lobby or a private jet, you downgrade yourself to soap opera extra. Next time you're tempted to shriek, remember, a well-timed icy silence inflicts far deeper wounds. Seventh horror, a wardrobe that ignores context. It is astonishing how many new money aspirants show up to funerals, clad in candy-colored dresses and wedding fascinators that belong at the Kentucky Derby. Mourning means black. A funeral veil is not optional if you wish to channel old money sorrow. Similarly, a royal christening does not require a plunging neckline so daring that the vicar blesses more than just the baby. Clothes speak before you open your mouth. Wear the right ones, or risk 1,000 unseen smirks. Eighth, phone addiction in polite company. Nothing reveals poor upbringing faster than scrolling through social media while the host unveils an heirloom Bordeaux. The truly elevated class treat their phone as an emergency beacon, not a dinner companion. Victoria Beckham could be on fire, and she still wouldn't check her phone until dessert. If you absolutely must take a call, excuse yourself with an apologetic whisper and slip away discreetly. Never at the table, never mid-toast, and certainly not while the patriarch is recounting how he once hunted pheasant with Prince Philip. Ninth pitfall, drinking oneself into oblivion. The gleeful debauchery of an open bar. Many a plebeian soul thinks they must justify the host's expense by sampling every liquor on offer, twice. A lady or gentleman of breeding knows better. A sip here, a taste there, all while remaining devastatingly coherent. The goal is to shine just enough without becoming the cautionary tale next morning. Believe me, the elite notice. And they never forget the one who vomited into an antique urn behind the drawing room curtains. 10th crime, discussing money in explicit terms. This is the moral equivalent of streaking across the Queen's garden party. The upper class adores money. Let's not be naive. But the polite fiction is that they've always had it, that money is simply an ambient mist they drift through. They will never say, "My house cost 12 million. They will say, "It's a modest place in Belgravia." And if you press them, they will blink languidly, change the subject, and make a mental note never to invite you back. 11th breach, interrogation disguised as conversation. There is no greater social blunder than asking pointed questions. How old are you? How much did that necklace cost? When is the baby due? Are you two getting divorced? These inquiries are peasant territory. The discreet learn to let mysteries remain unsolved. They intuit scandal through whispers, not blunt force interrogations. If you must ask, do so through a trusted gossip, and never leave fingerprints. 12th sin, neglecting the art of gratitude. The higher the pedigree, the thicker the stack of engraved stationery. After any dinner party, weekend stay, or even a particularly charming lunch, a handwritten note must follow within 3 days. Emails are for accountants. Texts are for lovers. and clandestine rendezvous. Real appreciation drips from fresh ink on heavy paper, preferably embossed with your crest, if you have one. If not, have one made. It costs less than a reputation lost to thankless negligence. 13th horror, culinary gluttony. True, the aristocracy can devour entire cheese boards without remorse, but they do so discreetly. Small, deliberate portions, graceful fork movements, and polite pauses for conversation. The moment you lunge for a third helping of foie gras while the host's grandmother is still chewing her first bite, you reveal the barnyard within. Elegant eating is performance art. Slow, silent, and always leaving a morsel behind to show you weren't raised by wolves. 14th atrocity, botched introductions. Nothing sets teeth grinding behind polished smiles like a clumsy, half-forgotten introduction. Imagine dragging your date to a glittering ball and mumbling, this is my friend. I forget your name. The well-bred memorize their guests' titles, sprinkle in an affectionate tidbit. This is Lady Margaret, whose roses won the Chelsea Flower Show twice, and let connections blossom naturally. Introductions are the social equivalent of matchmaking. One day, you might broker a marriage or an oil deal with nothing more than your silver tongue. 15th and final horror, treating the environment as a disposable toy. Today's truly stylish set has upgraded their moral compass. They've traded mink stoles for sustainable cashmere and champion reusable crystal water bottles over disposable plastic, wasting food, leaving the lights blazing in an empty wing of the mansion, or casually throwing recyclables in the regular trash, is enough to blacken your social aura forever. If you wish to dine among the cultivated, learn to cherish the planet. After all, it's the only ball we all must share. So there you have it. 15 social sins so vile that the aristocracy would rather fake food poisoning than witness them up close. Feel faint? Good. It means you're digesting hard truths. But take heart. Manners can be polished to a sheen more blinding than any diamond tennis bracelet. And once polished, they shield you better than any trust fund ever could. So practice discretion. Whisper your scandals. Write your thank you notes in beautiful cursive under a single candle. Order your drinks judiciously. And the next time you catch yourself about to say, I once met Prince Harry's ex-girlfriend's hairdresser, clamp your lips shut and smile enigmatically. That, darling, is how you transcend the glitter and the fake classiness to join the true ranks of the effortlessly elegant. And never forget to slay.